Hello, everyone, and welcome to my experience of The Judge by 21 Pilots. It's a bit of ukulele.
Na 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 na, oh oh, na 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 na, oh oh, na 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 na, oh oh. When the leader of the bad guys sang something soft and soaked in pain, I heard the echo from his secret hideaway. He must have forgot to close his door as he cranked out those dismal chords, and his four walls declared him insane. I found my way, right time, wrong place, as I pled my case. You're the judge, oh no, set me free. You're the judge, oh no, set me free.
This is catchy.
I know my soul's freezing, hell's hot for good reason, so please take me. Na, 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 na.
Oh, now we're going.
Na, na, na. Oh, na, na, na. Oh. Three lights are lit, but the fourth one's out. I can tell cause it's a bit darker than the last night's bout. I forgot about the drought of light bulbs in this house, so I head out down the route I think is heading south. But I'm not good with directions, and I hide behind my mouth. I'm a pro at imperfections, and I'm best friends with my doubt. And now that my mind's
yeah.
out, and now I hear it clear and loud, I'm thinking
It's all about
aloud.
critical thinking,
I
isn't
should've
it?
stayed inside my house. I found my way, right time, wrong place, as I pled my case. You're the judge, oh no, set me free. You're the judge, oh no, set me free. I know my soul's freezing, hell's
Right, we're about
hot for
halfway.
good
I'm going to pause it.
reasons.
Right, we're about halfway. I can't play it all the way through. There's an FAQ now in the description that explains why I have to stop it at least once. Can't be a substitute for the original is one of the principles. I can't play it all the way through. But this feels like a relatively appropriate place for me to leave some thoughts. And I've got a tool now, which means I can write on my screen with the press of this button, I believe. Yeah, I like this. I like the switch up in tempo. Yeah, have a look at some of the lyrics here. They're quite interesting, aren't they? So I think I can highlight some of this. There's this really interesting. This is my experience. Remember, I can talk about the lyrics. This doesn't mean that I'm right in any way. This is just my interpretation and what's coming up for me in this very moment. Some of these ideas might be totally wacky, totally out there. It's just what's coming up for me. A lot of it will depend on what mood I'm in, for instance, what I've been through in my life today. So we'll see. But we end up with this. I don't know why I said that, but we start off with this. Can I highlight these like this? Yeah, that is pretty cool. There's these na 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 bits. I was going to attempt to sing it out, but the flattest voice on the planet. You don't want to hear it. Which there's this juxtaposition between these bits and the ukulele, and some of the lyrics that he's singing about, because he's talking about it sound. We'll have a look in a minute, but it seems like he's talking about having critical thoughts. He said later on, I think doubt is his best friend, something along those lines. So there's this. We hear this quite often, don't we, where the music feels like it's happy, but the lyrics are full of pain. So I think that's what's going on here. Drew a line there by mistake because I can't. I'm trying to use my iPad to scroll, but I can't. I've got to scroll on the computer. I can only draw on the iPad. And then we've got some of these bits when the leader of the bad guys sang. Oh, by the way, I'll chapter this if you don't want to listen to this me talking going on. Just skip straight to the song bit. There'll be a chapter. You can just do that. When the leader of the bad guys sang something soft and soaked in pain, I heard the echo from the secret hideaway. He must have forgotten. So to close the door. So I'm getting critical, inner critical thought vibes here. So this bit, when the leader of the bad guys sang, I'm taking that as the bad guy is inner critic. Inner critic. I heard the echo from the secret hideaway. He must have forgot to close his door as he cranked out those dismal chords. So sad chords that aren't very good, chords that I don't know the listener doesn't like. and his four walls declared him insane. So we've got inner critical thoughts, soaked in pain. It's critical thoughts, but critical, we don't like having them. I heard the echo from his secret hideaway. He must have forgot to close the door, and he's in four walls. So this is saying to me that this inner critic is hidden away, or maybe is trying to be hidden away. Gosh, look at my handwriting. I can see what it looks like on OBS just here. God, that looks terrible. But because I'm talking, hopefully you can follow it. Inner critic, it's hidden away. The inner critic must have forgotten to close the door. It's interesting. Normally, it's the person listening that tries to close the door, not the critic. The critic themselves. It's an interesting play on that. His four walls declared him insane. Now, for me, when I think of four walls, maybe because of my background, I think of like a cell, like either a prison cell or a, oh, be careful how I phrase this, like a stereotypical what you would see on TV or in the movies of like a mental health inpatient unit where someone's kind of put in a room for their own safety, for instance. But whatever, they're being locked away, isolated away. And they declared him insane. So maybe that's because they don't want to listen to him, they don't like what he's saying. I don't know. I found my way, right time, wrong place. I found my way. So I am guessing as Tyler, or the singer of the song, found my way. So found their way to this voice, right time, needed it now, but the wrong place. Not sure, not sure yet. I don't want to spend too long thinking about this. And then he's pleading his case to, let's just scroll up a bit, to the judge. So this is, I don't know, it's easy. I think it's an easy thing to say that this could be a godlike figure. But I'm not really sure if it's as simple as that. It could be some kind of, I don't know, conscience perhaps, himself. You're the judge. Who else could be judge? Society, maybe. Society could be the judge. I don't know. I don't know how spiritual Tyler is. I don't know how he would have written it, whether he could have been thinking about God, God, God. And then we went into this really cool like rap portion here. Let me just play it a bit quickly. Hopefully I can fade it so it's not too jarring for you.
Three lights are lit, but the fourth one's out. I can tell cause it's a bit darker than the last night's bout. I forgot about the drought of light bulbs in this house, so I head out. Down the route I think is heading south.
So we've got this really cool bit. Let me see if I can. Where is it on here? Three lights are lit, but the fourth one's out. I could tell because it's a bit darker than the last night's bout. So that seems to me that it's getting darker. So darkness is it's increasing. Darkness in mood, darkness of thoughts, maybe. But there's also this interesting thing here where he's aware that it's getting darker. So he has some insight here into what is going on for him and his experience here. I forgot about the draft of light bulbs in this house. Like not draft. What am I talking about? Drought. And I forgot about the drought of light bulbs in this house. Like, I keep replacing them so often that we don't have any. They keep going out. These things keep happening and I keep replacing them, but it's happened so often now that they've gone out. So I head out. So I go out. I don't know. I don't know if he's heading out to kind of change up the context, change up the environment, change up the situation, because quite often that can have an impact on how you feel and how you're thinking. So maybe he's doing that. Down a route I think is heading south. Now, I wonder, is this south thing? South I think of as down. Head out down a route I think is heading south. So is this, we've got the judge maybe up, some higher power. Is south down like into hell down? I don't know. And then what else did we have? I'm a pro imperfections. He's saying, he makes mistakes and things. That's fine. No one's perfect. In fact, it might be worse sometimes the other way and try to be perfect all the time. But he understands that he does have imperfections, but I guess that also shows some thoughts of I'm a pro imperfection, so maybe uncertainty in himself and his ability to do things. I'm best friends with my doubt. Again, that's that uncertainty thing, isn't it? And he's always doubting himself. It happens so often. It's like a best friend. He's always along for the ride. Is that where we got to? Pretty much. In fact, scrolling through, it looks like this is all very similar from this point, actually. So let's go from. Oh no, hold on. There's a bit more here. I'm best friends with my doubt, and now that my mind's out, and now I hear it clear and loud. So we're hit. Oh no, that's one button. So we're around here somewhere. My best friends with my doubt, and now that my mind's out, and now I hear it clear and loud, I'm thinking, wow, I probably should have stayed in my house. So is that so I'm guessing now he's out. Is that the critical thoughts he's hearing clear and loud? And because he's having these critical thoughts, like louder than before, they're bringing up more anxiety for him. And he's just thinking, wow, this is too much for me. I need to get back into my house. I should have avoided this. I shouldn't have even bothered coming out. I don't know. That's where I think, that's where my mind's going.
Forgot about the drought of light bulbs
start
in
from
this
here.
house, so I head out. Down the route I think is heading south. But I'm not good with directions and I hide behind my mouth. I'm a pro at imperfections and I'm best friends with my doubt. And now that my mind's out and now I hear it clear and loud, I'm thinking, wow, I probably should have stayed inside my house. I found my way, right time, wrong place, as I pled my case.
Back into this.
You're the judge, oh no, set me free. You're the judge, oh no, set me free. I know my soul's freezing, hell's hot for good reason, so please. I don't know if this song is a surrender or a revel. I don't know if this one is about me or the devil. I don't know if this song is a surrender or a revel. I don't know if this one is about me or the devil.
Oh. Has that slowed down a bit? Yeah, it has, hasn't it? I love these tempo changes.
You're the judge.
Oh, this
Set me free.
this feels difficult for me. This tempo
You're the
feels
judge.
uncomfortable.
Oh no.
Maybe that's the point.
Set me free, oh no. I know my soul's freezing, hell's hot for good reason, so please.
Like it feel like it's dragging out, doesn't it? Imagine Josh there just coming in.
Na 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 na, oh oh. Na 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 na, oh oh. Na 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 na, oh oh. Na 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 na, oh. You're the judge. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, quicker.
Set me free. Na 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 na, you're the judge. Oh no. Set me free. Na na, you're the judge. Oh no. Set me free. Na na na, you're the judge. Oh no. Set me free. Na na na.
It's like it's playing again, but really quietly, like it's always there. It's always there in the back of your mind. Oh wow. Okay. That's a pretty cool song, isn't it? Let me go full screen. In fact, no, I don't want to go full screen because I want to show you some of the lyrics. So really, I think the only bits that I haven't really considered are these bits here. So we had this really interesting, I don't know if this song is a surrender or a revel. I don't know if this one is about me or is it the devil. And that just repeats. So again, there seems like some uncertainty here, doesn't it? Doesn't there? It seems like, I mean, about me and the devil makes me think about whether his thoughts, whether he sees his thoughts as something. Oh my gosh, that's a fat boy pen, isn't it? Whether he sees his thoughts as internalized, or some sort of external influence, which I think is interesting because they're very different ways to view things. Maybe he's not sure. And who is the judge? Who is said judge? You're the judge. So we talk about God, society. Maybe it's self-judgment. Is it self-judgment? Set yourself free from this. But then there's hell's hot for good reason. Hell's hot. It's uncomfortable. It's punishing. Thinks he deserves to be punished. Oh, just sound like I'm rambling here and in response to my own thoughts. What is going on? Overall, we've got some thoughts of this thoughts. We got some themes of this, I don't know, metaphorical type courtroom where he's putting his own thoughts, his own experiences, his own narrative and self story on trial, and he's trying to defend himself. Not sure who to, some kind of higher power that's out there. God, society, maybe self judgment. I don't know. Probably open to interpretation. That's probably the point of this art form. In fact, the whole track is about ambivalence and uncertainty. So maybe that's why I am feeling so ambivalent and uncertain. I'm mirroring the content of this track. If Tyler has done that on purpose, he is a mofo genius. The whole light bulb rap was cool. I like it when he brings everyday objects in. There's a song, isn't there? What? I can't remember which one it is. And he's talking about driving his car and there being lots of potholes and complaining to the council or something like that. I like these simile, is that the right word? That he draws upon of everyday objects. And I also like the overall just the way the song is structured. Like it's quite playful at the beginning. It's got the ukulele, it's got some sing-along bits, but it's also quite dark at the same time about self-reflection and critical thoughts and having doubt as your best friend. It's done very well. It's very clever. And it's also really bloody catchy. I can listen to this over and over again, I'm sure. In fact, I'm probably going to go and terrorize my wife. Who'll be really pleased actually, because prior to this, yesterday I put up it's on Patreon. I couldn't get on YouTube. The edit would have been terrible and copyright restrictions. I did a reaction to the whole musical Phantom of the Opera, the Andrew Lloyd Webber one, Royal Albert Hall 25th anniversary. And I was just, every time I walked into the room, I was singing the famous song, I am the Phantom of the Opera. I was driving her insane. Now I can just walk around and go, what is it? I just say, you're the judge. Oh no, set me free. I'm not gonna subject you to my singing. She's gonna go insane. I'm also really interested in this whole plot line with Blurry Face, which I started to get really, really into. And then I stopped for some reason. I can't remember. I think something else came up. And I just kind of fell out of the 21 Pilots story. But I want to get back into it. I know they've got a new album out. I've not heard any of it, but I wanted to start working my way back up again. So if you're interested in this journey again, then please leave a sub. That'd be really cool. Let me know that people are interested. So I haven't even finished Blurry Face yet. I think there's an album called, is it Scaled and Icy? I'm not sure people want me to check that out. And then there's Trench, I think. And then I'm not sure if there's one between Trench and the new one or whether it's straight into the new one. I think there's one before Blurry Face, which I might check out as well, though people did tell me that channels have been taken down for copyright stuff for that album. But whatever, I'm digressing a bit. But I really like these Blurry Face connections, and that seems to link in quite well here with this inner critic that he's talking about, locked away in these four walls, that's managing to get out and influence Tyler, has been personified quite often as this this um this character called Blurry Face. And I wonder if there's this, I don't know, like there's this ambivalence here. I don't know if this song is a surrender or a revel. Is that because there's some conflict here between Tyler and Blurry Face? And the light bulb thing, there's three lit, one out. Is that something to do with Blurry Face there? Is I don't know, the one that's out representative of Blurry Face? And there's a drought of light bulbs because he keeps making them go out somehow. He's like trying to gain control. I don't know. And something else that I think is really cool and something that we use a lot in therapy, especially the therapy that I do, is this idea of heart, head, hands. And I think it might be a fun way to try and structure what I think about this via that mechanism. So heart is the emotional impact that the track has on me. So the emotions it brings up for me. And also because emotions are so closely linked to internal bodily sensations or anything that happened with me in terms of that. Head, your thinking bit, your brain. This is what thoughts came up for me, what insights came up for me, what interpretations my brain produced. What themes did it come up with? What sense did it make of what I was experiencing? And then that's the part that will also link in with my clinical practice, because the brain is what will network, the memory network will go out and try to make sense of it based on my lived experience. And then the hands is like the practical aspect. What can you take away with it? What do you take away from it? What can you do with it? Is there anything practical you can do? So, heart. I mean, what did I make of this? I've already talked about, I probably should have discussed this stuff at the beginning, really, but this is a way that I thought I could do it right at this moment for some reason. The song feels, like I've already said, there's a juxtaposition, but overall for me, it brings up this like heaviness. It positions Tyler in a very vulnerable position, I think. A position that I think a lot of people are in. I don't think this is a particularly unique, like, well, everyone's experience is unique. I get that. But I think Tyler's experience here is quite common in terms of an inner critic, that kind of ambivalence and uncertainty around things. And the way that the song keeps looping round, just and the way, especially the way that it's slowed down in pace, it felt frustrating. And now I think about it, that's done purposely, isn't it? Because his situation is frustrating. And then it speeds up again as if those thoughts are speeding up and coming back even quicker. Again, there's that hint of frustration there. But there was this other part of me that was like, yeah, this is a really cool song by 21 Pilots. It's so catchy. Just bring up that ambivalence again. The head bit, I think I've talked about in my interpretation of the lyrics enough, talking about the self critical thoughts, how that might relate to the blurry face character. So we won't go over that again. Hands, what do I think practically? So my mind instantly goes to clients that I've had who have a very, very strong inner critic. And I think of some skill stuff like naming the inner critic, giving it a name, which interestingly, Tyler's already done with Blurry Face. So I think that that is quite helpful. Name it to tame it, that kind of thing. And I actually it'd be cool to speak to Tyler and say, hey, Tyler, man, when you were feeling all this stuff and you came up with the Blurry Face story, like how did that actually impact you feeling this stuff? That'd be really cool to explore with him. But then I also think of this the way the track was looping around. Do we, considering people looking at breaking rumination cycles, so that constant worrying thoughts, and there's some good exercises like there's one called If You're Not a Therapist, this won't make any sense, but Dipping In and Out of the River by Russ Harris from Acceptance and Commitment Therapy, where you essentially expose yourself to worrying thoughts for like 30 seconds. And then you come back into the present moment, you do something where you focus on the present, and then you jump back into those worrying thoughts again and you move between the two. It's a form of exposure. And then thinking about self-compassion work, so Paul Gilbert, Christine Neff, those type of people, and also the ability to create safe spaces for yourself where you're able to express yourself authentically without fear of getting judged by someone. Which, by the way, is really hard on YouTube because people love a good judge on YouTube, don't they? Love a bit of good judgment. I say good judgment, not good half the time. But hey, I'm still here, barely, putting content out, modeling for you. So that's it. This has been a really, really surprisingly long video. I'm pretty hyper, as you can probably tell. It's just the way I am today. Sometimes you get calm stew, sometimes you get hyper stew. Bit of a hyper mood today. It's me. You get me. I've avoided doing videos when I've been like this before because I didn't really want people seeing me like this, to be quite honest. And I've decided now to embrace authenticity. I think that's important. This is who I am. So I'm afraid you're stuck with me. But if you made it this far into the video, well, thanks for watching. That's it from me. If you want more 21 Pilots, hit that subscribe button. Let me know. More Ren on the way. I know people will be asking. Apologies for the delay on that. Just life stuff going on. Other than that, have a good one, people. Take care. See you later.